Hi, this is Jason Little, and today I'm going to do a quick overview of a presentation that Michael Lant and I delivered at the June Silicon Halton meetup. So this topic was about business agility. So with any business, what do you need first before you start off? You need an idea. And generally, that idea becomes valuable when you've been paid for it. So what exactly is business agility? So business agility is compressing the time between generating the idea and getting paid for that idea. Traditionally, Agile fits in the developing the idea part. So Agile traditionally doesn't talk about idea generation or validating that it's a good idea or even about getting paid for that idea. It's focused on developing that idea. And it's generally comprised of three components. There's the people component, the process component, and the technical component. So people focuses on the values and the principles of Agile. Process focuses on the mechanics of delivery, for example, Scrum, Extreme Programming, Lean, and Kanban. And technical are the technical practices for building the software: test-driven development, pair programming, refactoring, test automation. There's much more to all of this, but generally Agile focuses on developing that idea. That's not enough to reach business agility. So if we look at what the Agile Manifesto is, it's 4 value statements that are the foundation of what Agile is. So the first one is individuals and interactions over processes and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and responding to change over following a plan. Now often the manifesto is misinterpreted and say things like, well, we don't need to plan because we're Agile. We don't need to document because we're Agile. That's not the case. What the manifesto is saying is you do enough planning to get started, but responding to a change is more important than following a plan. Same for documentation. All the documentation in the world doesn't help if your software doesn't work. The Agile Manifesto talks about finding a balance between these two. So what's the biggest difference between Agile and traditional or waterfall methods? So waterfall focuses on more sequential activities with teams that are specialized and sliced into functional silos. Agile focuses on a cross-functional team, which means putting together a team that has the skills, tools, and experience necessary for that project, and breaking the work into sprints or iterations. So in the first sprint, for example, you may do more analysis and design, but you'll also do some building and testing. And that could be doing a prototype or mock-ups or something to get you user or stakeholder feedback very quickly. Some of the benefits are that you'll be able to release working software earlier, you can validate that your idea is worth money earlier, you get the software into the hands of real users, and you do just enough planning to get started. This is the Scrum process model. So Scrum is one of the process models in the Agile toolkit. And it starts off with a product backlog, which is a list of user stories. In the traditional world, those are called requirements. The team will take a chunk of that work and pull that into the sprint backlog. The sprint backlog is the amount of work that the team has agreed to complete for the length of the iteration. The iteration could be 2 to 4 weeks, really depends on the type of software that you're building. Within that 2 to 4 week cycle, the daily Scrum meeting happens. So every day the team gets together and plans their day. It's not a status update, it's a way for the team to coordinate the work that they're doing. At the end of the sprint or iteration, you have a potentially shippable product increment. That means that the software you've created is demoed to the stakeholders and to the product owner, and you get feedback right there on the spot. Now, with the empirical nature of Scrum, after the iteration is finished, the team does a retrospective and tunes their behavior accordingly. So they talk about things that went well, what didn't go well, and they focus on improvements. So in a nutshell, that's business agility and some very high-level information about Agile practices. If you want to learn more, check out our site at www.getagile.ca. Thanks.